everyone, my beautiful people. Welcome to yet another episode of Chiquis and Chill. Today is a very special episode because a very special person is here, is my guest, my special guest, and very special to my heart. And if some of you guessed, my fiancé, well, you're absolutely right. Hi, babe.
Hi.
How are you?
It's good. I'm good. It's exciting to hear you say my fiance.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Oh my God, I was about to say that because the last time you were on the podcast, well, we didn't have the set, first of all. And then it was a year ago. Mm-hmm. And we were just boyfriend and girlfriend.
Yeah, we were.
And now we're fiancés.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that?
I'm excited. It feels great. It's, almost a year later, and I still get excited when you say my fiance. And
you like it?
I like saying it too.
What about when I say my husband?
Oh, I don't know if I can handle that one.
Oh, why? Why?
Because I'm excited for that. I'm excited. Yeah.
You're not scared?
No.
No? At all?
Not even.
Yeah, I'm not either anymore.
Nothing.
I feel good.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, we can get into that.
Yeah. All right, let's get into that. I love that. Hell yeah. We're going to have a serious conversation. Mind you guys, he has no idea what I'm going to ask him, what we're going to talk about. I just wanted him to come on the podcast because it's a new set. I'm so excited that we're just like celebrating 3 seasons of Chiquis and Chill, and thanks to you guys. And I want to bring people that I had on the first 2 seasons to the set. And of course, I have to have you on here. So I just have notes here just so that I don't forget certain things. But I'm just going to let the conversation flow. There's certain things that I just wanted to talk about. Like, yes, we are engaged, you guys. And do we have a date set for the wedding?
Yes, we do.
Oh, exclusive with Emilio Sanchez. Yes, we do. And I want to keep it very private. But we do have a date. It's going to be a small, intimate, like I said on the podcast, you guys, a small, big wedding. Mm-hmm. Because we want it very intimate, but it's not going to be like 20 people. That's what I mean by small.
Yeah.
Right?
And also, it'll be super tight, but also it's a small wedding, but there'll probably be a lot of big energy between us.
Mm-hmm. Super tight like my his face. Anyway, it's my podcast. We can cut out whatever we want or not. Yep. Who cares? We're just in, you know me, my love. This is why you love me. Hi. Yeah. Are you sure you want this forever?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Well, let's see. There's a lot to talk about. Like, I mean, it's been a whole year since you've been on the podcast. So now, yes, we're engaged. We have a date. We did the IVF thing. Mm-hmm.
Yes, we did.
I feel great after I did that. Honestly, I feel like I could just enjoy our relationship without like pressure. How do you feel?
Yeah.
We've talked about it, but you know.
Yeah, no, something on that. Before we did it, people always said, even like more natural way, people always said, oh, just if you're trying, it's not going to happen. And if you just forget about it and let go, it'll happen naturally. Mm-hmm. When you don't have a backup like IVF, I feel like you can't just let go of it and just not think about it.
For sure.
And I think what this has done for me, it truly has let me let go of it, of like not worrying about it. Mm-hmm. So now I feel like I don't think about it now. Yeah. I think about us having kids and stuff, but I don't think of the pressure of like, oh my God, is it going to happen or not?
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. And it really has helped us out, like in our relationship, I feel. Like it's not, I mean, I think I was a little bit more argumentative in regards to it, where it's like, okay, well, what if I can't? And this and that. And like, what are you going to do? Are you going to leave me? And like, I would just start pedos for no reason. And he'd be like, dude, get over it. But then now I feel like, okay, I don't have to worry about that because I want to work this. I sat down with him because couples therapy has helped us a lot, guys.
Yeah.
And I sat down and I said, look, babe, this is what I'm thinking. This year, I have Diamond, my whole idea with, Diamond Tour, with the album. I was like, I want to give it all that I got. Obviously, we're both turning a year older. And as a woman, my eggs are deteriorating. Their quality, the quality of the eggs aren't as good as they were a year ago, 2 years ago. So I was like, I just want to do it. I know I had said I didn't want to do it. We were going to try naturally, whatever. And we're still going to try naturally. That's the plan, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
we're not. Yeah, I feel like we're at a place in our life where I don't think we should stop it from happening.
Yeah.
But
we have a plan though.
I love our plan.
Yeah, I love our plan.
I love our plan. I love the outcome of our plan.
Yes. But if it happens, you mean?
I'd be extremely excited.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
knowing our plan is super exciting to me right now. Yeah.
Me too. That's why I'm like, I want us to be on the same page where it's like, okay, because I follow like my little calendar thing. If you guys don't have a period tracker, ladies, it's awesome. But like you like put it in there like, okay, I started my period today. I finished my period, and it like helps you like on the calendar with like your fertility day. So it's like, it's not that we're not going to do it those days, but we got to be just extra careful because we have a plan. Yeah. I just want to make sure, because I'm something, I mean, I don't feel like I'm pressuring you. Like I just said, hey, this is what I would like. And you like agreed. You're like, hell yeah. Like, let's do this. And then next year we'll talk about, okay, let's start banging it out and seeing what happens.
Yeah.
And have fun while we're doing it.
Yeah, absolutely. I think we're having
because we're still banging it out, but now intentionally banging it out.
I think we're having the most fun right now because of the pressure's off.
Yeah.
Like we haven't,
for sure.
We haven't even talked about, since we've done this, we haven't talked about, do you think we can have kids or not? Like, actually, like we haven't even had that conversation because we don't think about it anymore. We're not worrying about it.
Yeah. Honestly, I think it's one of the best things I could have done. It was very emotionally, like it was a lot, you know, I think, but you were with me the entire way, and I'm so grateful for you, because I told them already that like you would mix the medicine for me, like you would help me. You were there holding my hand, trying to go to every appointment. You only missed one because you had to work, and I was like, don't feel bad, go. But you wanted me to FaceTime you and everything. Like he was very good. And you know what? Like we just celebrated 3 years. I can't believe that it was 3 years. I mean, I don't know who asked us the other day, but they're like, does it feel like 3 years? And I'm like, it doesn't. It feels like shorter. That's a good thing, right? I don't feel like, oh my God, I've been with this guy forever. Like I feel like it's so brand new. I'm like, 3 years already?
Yeah.
Right?
It's because we've been having fun.
We have a lot of fun. Honestly, I enjoy my time with you so much. Like you're my favorite person to hang out with. Same. And I'm fine with it. I've never felt that way. Right?
Yeah. I want to be with you all day, every day.
Me too, dude. I love eating with you. I love riding bikes with you. Like I've never been able to get away. And I've said this so many times, but I really, truly mean it. Like where it's like, oh, I'm so excited to get away just with you. And we have dinner and we don't necessarily have to talk about anything. It's just, we're there and we're just happy. And we've been sober.
Yeah.
That's been huge for us too. Like both of us been sober, like no cannabis, no alcohol, just shrooms. A couple times. When we went to Big Sur to celebrate our 3 years, we did shrooms. And not like crazy amounts, you guys. It's not like, and we don't do it to like, oh, let's fucking party and like get crazy. Like we're always super intentional about like being spiritually aligned and doing it for spiritual reasons. And it was beautiful. We got in the jacuzzi.
And we just talked.
It was so awesome.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
This one was a good one because we were functional. And we were able to have really great conversations. Yeah. In a jacuzzi overlooking a mountain. Yeah. Like it was incredible.
It was awesome. We were in nature. I swear I was like talking to the trees, and not like, oh, talking to the trees, but I was like, dude, they're alive. They're alive. And it just made me appreciate nature so much in the moment. It was so awesome, you guys. And for those of you, shrooms, they sound really bad, but they're mushrooms. Okay. They come from the earth. You guys are psychedelic, psilocybin. It comes from the earth. It's supernatural. They're medicinal. And if you don't know more about it, maybe one day we can talk about it. We talked about it on the pod. We're going to probably have to invite someone to come and really get into it now that we have a set. But like, I feel like they're even, I always say this, even better than Tylenol, even better than a lot of things that we eat and drink on a daily basis. But that's just my opinion. And we're grown-ups and we're good. But we do it together and we're on the same frequency. And I feel like it's really helped our relationship as well. Yeah. A lot.
Yeah. One of my favorite benefit of psilocybin is how present it makes us. And every time we've had it, whether it felt like it was a bad trip or not, it always brought out what needed to come out. And
oh my God, yes.
Because sometimes we're smooth sailing, and sometimes it gets a little rocky and rough, but after it's like, it brings out the things that we might be holding in, and we talk, we sit there, we cry together, we let everything out. And I think that's like it. There's always a benefit after we do it.
Yeah, absolutely. And I always pray, God, this medicine that comes from like the earth that you have provided, like let it like enter my body and bring out only the best. And I remember right now that you brought that up, and I'm not sure if we've ever talked about it, or I did, but when we did it one time in Zion, and we had a massive argument, you guys, before going into like the Narrows. And we had this whole day plan, had our little snacks, everything, so excited. And then it just kicked in right when we parked. And it was crazy. Like we had like a really not horrible like oh, we're hitting each other. No, but we just had a very deep discussion. And I started crying and he was crying and I left the car and then I felt like a little girl, like something, I don't even remember what the argument was about, but I just remember after that we walked into the Narrows together and it was just so awesome.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I also don't remember what the argument was about or what the conversation was about, but that time, like I hold on to that time, I feel it a lot. I get reminded of it a lot, especially when we do shrooms, because what I take from it, it made us be present with each other and, express the things that we needed to express. Yeah. And then it felt clean. And which is why I like to go to...
It took out some junk, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, which is why I like to go to places like that with you, because we're like so close to the earth. And I feel like, I believe Mother Nature created those places for us to go there, and she's doing wonders for us and like cleans us. And she's like, you know what, come here, be grounded here with me and I'll clean you up a little bit.
Yeah.
And we leave
rejuvenated.
Yeah, rejuvenated.
Face cream.
Face cream. Rejuvenated face cream.
Every time I say rejuvenated, guys, now he's like, face cream. Yeah. He uses my products and he loves them, don't lie.
I do, every day.
Every day he uses my skincare products. Does it feel different, like, now that you're my fiance? Like, does it feel different? Like, because I know, like, there are times, you guys, and he gets so mad at me. When I'm like, oh, it's my boyfriend. He's like, I'm your what? I'm like, oh, yeah, I'm sorry, my fiance. I haven't done that in a long time.
I don't think he's done that too many times.
No, it's been, like, maybe twice.
Maybe once or twice.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But, yeah. I feel more connected to you, for sure, being fiance. And... I feel like it means like we're, committed to the same path, to the same things that we want in our life. And it's just like, to me, it's that prep. It's that, right before husband and wife. Yeah. So it's like, I see it as,
it's starting to feel like more, what's the word? Solidified?
Yes.
Solidified.
I feel that a lot. Yeah.
He taught me how to say that word correctly, you guys. Because I used to say, felicitate? No.
You used to say felicitate.
Felicitate. He's like, facilitate. I'm like, yeah, you're right, babe. Sorry. And then I said solidified or solidified. I don't know what I used to say. But anyways, it's a word. But yes, it does feel more...
solidified.
It does.
Yes.
It does. And I like it. And I feel like we're in a really good place. And I don't know. I really do see us eventually helping other couples out. I mean, because I've been very open about myself and the things that I've had to work through and... within myself and in my past relationships. And he's, as you guys could see, he's very level-headed and very mature, and like he really grounds me. And I feel that that's why it's worked, because you've been so patient is like the word that I can, like, you've given me a lot of grace, because I've been very honest and said, hey, I let it all hang out. This is who I am. And he's been, okay, cool. Like, I let him know, and he's really helped me through it. And I'm just, I think, I don't know. And we're in a good place because we're doing couples therapy, you guys. Yes. That's helped a lot.
Which like reminds me of like what I wanted to say about being a fiance. It's even this, I would say almost a year of being engaged, it's changed dramatically since the beginning of our engagement to even now. And I feel one of the biggest things that I took from our pre-marital counseling is that everyone...
It's pre-marital. You hear?
Yeah.
I was like, it's not couples therapy. Okay, my bad.
Everyone plans for a wedding, but no one plans for a marriage. And I think the difference between us and maybe, anyone else who's maybe not prepping correctly, is that we are prepping. We're putting in the work this year.
Yeah.
Preparing for our marriage, and we're like getting things in line so that once we're married, we're not like, what do you think about this? What do you think about it? And we're doing everything before it happens. And I think that's why we feel so ready. We put in the work to prep for it, and I think that's why we are excited, and we're not really worried about as many things we were worried before that come with spending the rest of your life with someone.
Yeah.
So that's why I feel
And
like
we're both very open to the process.
Very open.
And talking about, there's certain things out in premarital counseling, like I feel nervous to tell him, just him and I, because I'm like, I don't want to hurt his feelings, or what if I say it wrong? But I go in there and I'm like, I have to be honest. This is my chance. And he takes it so well and I take it so well. And I think because we're both just open to growing and making this relationship right, like we have to choose each other every single day. And that's, once that clicked in my mind, it's like, this is a choice. I have to choose this person, which means I have to make certain adjustments. I have to be willing to compromise. And that wasn't as easy for me before. But you also give me the room for that. You know, I think it's because we're both ready, you know, and it makes the biggest difference in the world.
Yeah, I think one of the biggest things that we learned was that we're a team.
And that was
like,
a big one.
And even like what that really means in our daily life and our language towards each other, and how we say things and how we decide on things. And it's never going to just be you versus me. It will never be you versus me. It's always us. And, you know, and I think switching our mind into that mentality, it's helped a lot versus like there's no half and half. We're one, you know? So it's changed a lot.
For sure. And that's another thing that I was listening to a friend of mine, and I'm so grateful because she was explaining like how her partner is like, well, if we have to go to therapy, then that means we shouldn't be together. And I was just like, shit, like that's not the right way to see things. Like, it's like, it's not, oh, if I have to go to therapy, something's wrong with me. I'm damaged. I'm this and that. Like, no, it's really, we're two different people, you guys. This is why I'm such a huge advocate of you know, counseling, of life coaching, of therapy, is because cada cabeza es un mundo. We're two different people coming together, and that could be very difficult because we're so set in our ways. But if we're open to expanding and becoming one, it's not necessarily losing myself, because that was what I was scared of. I was like, oh no, I still want to be me. I still want to be free. I still want to like, and now I know I can be myself, and I can also let him be himself. Not let him, he should be. And I should be. And then we just come together and discuss certain things. And I think that's when, dude, I've grown so much, even like in the past freaking few months, like where I'm like, oh dude, like I had an epiphany. I'm like, I'm always evolving. I'm always like, oh my God, I'm so glad, because like I used to see this differently. Now I'm like, yes, we're a team. And it just completely switched everything for me. And that wasn't very easy, but I wanted to, you know? Yeah. And, you know, and we even talked about IVF in you know, premarital, you know, and it's like, was something like, you guys really got to talk about this. Do you guys really want kids? And I was like, well, I'm 80% no. I was like, I'm chilling. Like, I'm already at this age. Like, I'm barely, like, Johnny's like just moved out. Like, I'm really trying to figure myself out. But then so many things happen. It's like, we talked about it, and we were just like, we decided, even on, we'll go back to IVF right now, but even with like the wedding date, like I don't know where, right? And we weren't in the same city. I was traveling. I don't remember where we were at. But anyways, I was thinking, and we had talked about, okay, so are we really going to get married like next year? Like, what's the plan? And then we kind of like had a little discussion. I was in Mexico, actually. I was in TJ. And it was like starting to become like a little bit of an argument. And then I was like, you know what, we'll talk about it when we get home. And you're like, yeah, let's talk about it, because this is something I really want to talk about. Like, I was like, oh shoot. I was like, all right. So I started thinking about it, and I was like, I'm going to pray about this. I was like, let me just settle. And then I was like, okay, I'm going to talk to him about this. And I have a plan. And hopefully he'll be on board and see what he thinks or whatever. And the crazy thing is when I came and I said, babe, this is what I was thinking. What if we just do this type of wedding? And he's like, what? I was thinking the same exact thing. Yeah. Right?
Yeah. It was.
And I was like, oh my God, this is God. I was like, okay. Yeah.
Because I felt a little, not nervous, but like I just felt a little antsy because a lot of things started happening quickly. And I was like,
with my career,
how are we going to, what's going to happen? And, you know, and then I don't know, I kind of put the pieces together for the rest of the year. And then it was exactly what you were thinking as well.
It's because hablando se entiende la gente. Like, you just got to talk about it. And I think he felt like, hello, we had like, well, where's the wedding going to fit in? Because we both were like, we don't want to be engaged for a long time. Like, that's not what we want. We want to get married. But then I started getting a bunch of opportunities. And then he's, you know, with his career. And we're like, oh, wait, what's really going to happen? You know, it's like, so... Anyways, he was worried. I was worried. And it just so happened to be that we were on the same page. And now we have a plan, and it's like great. And IVF is done. Actually, talking about IVF.
yeah, I kind of wanted to say something on that.
Yeah.
I think about when you were like, 80% no, you always leaned more towards you didn't want to have kids.
Yeah.
And I think as our relationship has progressed and we've been more secure about our future and what we want, and
You make me
also,
feel safe. That's why.
yeah, yeah, so do you. And also creating the space in our lives for that with, it really got us to a place to where you felt open to it. And then as things started happening, I just was sitting back. I didn't want to like say anything, but like I was really sitting back through the IVF process and like letting it sink into your head.
Yeah.
And I saw the excitement growing each week. And for me, I was like, you deserve this. And I felt that. Seeing you excited about finally, being open to having kids, like, I was like, you deserve this. You deserve to have all these things, and you should not have that because you were scared of anything or.
Yeah.
It's like,
I had a lot of things that I hadn't even unpacked. I thought it was for one reason or another, and it was just a bunch of reasons. But then at the end of the day, I'm like, what the heck? Like, I would love to see a little human that we can grow like together and then mold. And it was just started becoming very exciting. And then to see you, like I knew he was going to be a great dad. And we talked about this on one of the first episodes. Like I'm like one with Ryu, with our dog, how you are just so patient and like the way you train him. And I know obviously you can't like compare a dog to like a human being, but no, but when I saw that, I was like, oh my God, he's so patient. He wakes up every like 3 hours. And it's like, I'm like, he'd be a really good dad. Cause I'm like, I wouldn't mind you be my baby daddy. I ain't got no other baby mama drama. I'm chilling. Like, you have a beautiful family. You have a beautiful mind. Like I knew if God forbid anything ever happened to me and I have to leave this earth, I know my baby would be in great hands. And that's what to me is so important because I didn't have the best father figure. He was a good dad, but so much shit happened, as you guys know, and he's out of my life. And I just want to make sure that, my baby has a good family. And I love your family. I love your mother. I love your whole family. And it's just such a blessing. So is there any advice that you would like to give any guys out there that are going, and be honest, because I know I was a handful, but was I really? I don't know. Say the truth about IVF. Is there any type of advice that you would like to give anybody out there?
Because it's what I really want, and I know I want this with you, there wasn't a real part of the process that was like, this is too hard, or this is the only thing that I can think of is just seeing you going through, all the medications and you being,
One
a little
so bad.
sluggish, and the pain of you physically putting a needle in you. But besides that physical toll on you, like, the entire process emotionally is honestly more exciting than scary. And especially knowing what we were going for and learning about your body, like I felt really excited throughout the entire process versus scared.
Awesome.
The only thing that was a little scary and I got a little sad on was just you in physical pain, but other than that, one thing too, though, I'm really glad that we were only able to.
That we only had to go through it once.
Yes, that we only had to go through it one time.
I prayed for that a lot, guys.
Yeah. I could imagine how tough it could be if we had to do it 2, 3, maybe even 4 times.
Yeah.
But,
I commend. Yeah. And I admire the women that have. Because it is a lot on your body, you know what I mean? And on your emotional state, and you feel like, oh my God, there were moments where I was like, okay, it sucks that I have to do this, but then I'm like, well, no, this is a blessing. And I would go back and forth, and it just, I prayed for it so much. I was like, God, please, I just want to do this one time the entire year. I was thinking about work. I was thinking about my body. I was thinking about just so many different things, but I was like, I'm so grateful. And you're right, because women, we go through a lot, you guys. We go through a lot.
One thing on the amount of, or the regret if we didn't do it, or if we did. For us, I told you after we retrieved eggs. So just for general knowledge, like if people want one kid, the doctor recommends to have at least 2 healthy eggs. If they want more than 2 kids, it's 3, 4. But we agreed we're okay with 1, so our goal was for 2. And so I told you that before we get the results back on if they're healthy or not, if we got one and we needed to, I would probably push for a conversation to be like, hey, maybe we should try this one more time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because I felt like we're kind of right there.
Right.
If we got none, I told you we wouldn't have to go through it again if you didn't want to. And I'm okay with, I'm at my peace with us trying. Mm-hmm. And if it happens naturally, it happens naturally. But that's where I was with the numbers. And I was totally okay with not doing it again if we got 0.
Yeah.
But yeah.
But thank goodness, you know, we got 12 total. And then we got 7 after, like, they retrieve them or, like, they do the thing, right? Was it like that?
Once they mix them.
Yeah, once they mix, yeah. So anyways, that's IVF, and I'm so grateful, and, like, I'm so appreciative that I have a partner that's so great. I mean, yeah, so great. And so, like, understanding, because it is something that I felt like, oh my God, that sucks. Like, he's gonna think something's wrong with me. But in reality, it's not. That's not it, you guys. It's just, it's time. It's life. It's what happens, and it's part of being a woman, and I see it in a different way, and it really, I'm really happy that I did it. For real.
I am also, because I've always told you that I'm okay if we don't have kids because you can't. Like, I won't ever put that on you. Mm-hmm. Not trying is a different thing, but I think you finally believe. I feel like you finally believe me now that we have done IVF, to where, you know, you believe what I say. I'm like, this is what I want. If we can do it, great. If we can't, it's also okay. And there's, you know, I won't ever, like, hold that against you in any sort of way. Yeah,
I know you've been good. You said you'd be fine with just me. My handful.
It's a lot.
Whatever. So now that Johnny has moved out, how do you feel about that? We haven't really talked about it too much. I mean, we have. We're like, we miss him.
Little comments, for sure. Little comments here and there. It does feel weird. I'll go downstairs and I'm like, there's no one else here.
I know.
And I'm like, and we just had routines, and we just bump into each other, and we just would talk, and it's bittersweet, because it does. If I miss Johnny, I miss Johnny in the house. Yeah. And it feels weird with him not there, like, super close. Yeah. Even though he still is kind of close, but it's not as close as, like, hey, John, come downstairs.
Are your eyes watery?
But
I love you.
I love John.
Oh, I know. I love that they love each other, dude. It's
also,
just like this is my dream come true. Uh-huh.
I'm also, like, just super happy for him to, like, see his growth from when I met you guys to now, and you know, my the thing that, like, kind of, like, that I am okay with is seeing how happy he is right now. And
Same.
I've never seen him so just
he's thriving,
comfortable and thriving and super happy. And I'll drive by his building and I was like, oh, he's in there, he's good.
I know. Same.
But yeah,
it's crazy.
Sorry.
It's okay. You don't have to be sorry. I love that about you. I love that, you know, there's so much, like, we've talked about this as well, that, you know, being Latinos and stuff, and it's like, oh, guys don't cry. And I love the fact that you're so willing to be vulnerable. Not a lot of guys are. And I think that's why I fell in love with you. Because you're just, I don't know. I think I found you, or you found me. We found each other at the right time. Because it wouldn't have worked if, like, the things that you say, how you were before and how I was, it just wouldn't have worked. Like, we had to go through everything we went through in order to be here. So if anything, I am so grateful that you love Johnny, because I've been in situations where it's been the complete opposite, and it was the worst thing ever for me. So the fact that you've always embraced him, and he texts you, I think, more than he texts me, I love you, I miss you. Like, it's like, I'm like, it makes me so happy. I'm like, just like, I love this. I love it. And he wants us to have a kid so bad. You have no idea. Yeah. He's like, this is it. This is the guy. You need to have a kid. This is it. I see it. It's going to happen this year. I'm like, oh my God. And we all know he's a little psychic.
Yeah, he's a prophet.
So he's a prophet. So I'm just like, dude, I guess Johnny said it. We got to do it, man.
Yeah. Yeah. That's why anytime he tells us anything, I'm like, okay, it's going to happen. It's going to happen. Like, I don't have to worry about it.
I know. It's like, dude, he's the youngest, but it's like a lot of the shit that he has said, I'm like, fuck, he was right. I mean, I know it. And he always has valid reasons about a lot of things. But it's just that it's crazy. Yeah. He has a gift.
I think that's also why I connected so much with John, because I feel like we think the same things, and I feel like we're always on the same page. And so like anytime he says something and everyone goes against him, I'm like, I
agree with him.
I agree with you, John. Like you know shit. Sorry if I cussed, but he knows.
Okay, you can say shit.
He knows things.
He really does.
Yeah, he does.
He really does. Yeah, I mean, I'm so grateful. I want to play a game with you.
Okay.
A game that I think you may very well know because you shoot all their pictures.
Who are not really strangers?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, I bought a bunch of them.
Oh, I thought we were already getting deep. Now we're about to get deeper.
We'll pull out a couple cards.
Okay.
We have had these cards. He knows the owner, and I know them too. I met them through him, but he does all their product pictures, and they're in Target, actually. It's pretty cool. But anyways, I really love this game, and I've never played it with him. We've had it in our drawer, in the nightstand, and we've never played it. Actually, look, we've never played it. I'm not lying. So do you want to help me unwrap these real quick?
Couples edition too.
Yes, it's a couples edition, and we're going to get to know each other a little bit more. These are like this is about having a real conversation with strangers, with your couple, with your friends, with your family, and really talking about deep shit that usually you wouldn't talk about. So this facilitates it. I couldn't say anonymous before either, and I learned that one too. I don't know why. It would just get like a little difficult to pronounce certain words.
So there's 3 different levels.
Yes.
The one that you grabbed is
1. This is 3. 2. And this is 2. Okay. All right. Give this to Miss Kim over there. All right, guys. So basically, I mean, we've done this before. I've pulled out a few cards. But anyways, this is the couples edition. And we're going to pull, what do you put? 1, 2, or 3?
I think we should
dive
do whatever you want. I was going to say let's do 1, 2, 3. But if you want to go straight for 3.
Okay, cool. You pick 1 from level 1.
Describe the first time we met through your perspective in detail.
The first time we through my perspective. Okay, guys. So this is the truth. I met him when I was going through a really tough time. I was going through a separation, and emotionally, I was nowhere near like wanting or in any business trying to get into a relationship. It was a really bad place for me. But I remember him walking in, and because he was taking pictures of me. It was for we've talked about it a little bit, but he was taking pictures of me for a video shoot that I was going to have with Becky G for Jolene. And anyways, we were in the pandemic, so anyways, that's how I met him, why I met him. And he came into the house, and I just remember, I'm like, oh my God. I was like, there was something about him. Like, he just smiled and said, hi, I'm Emilio. And I'm like, oh, hi. And I just looked at him, I was like, damn, he has really pretty eyes. I didn't say anything, obviously. I thought it. And I told my makeup people, and I was like, oh my God, like, you know, he's very cute. And I'm like, can you ask if he's married? And it was Carlos. He was doing my makeup that day. His name was Carlos Amaro. And anyways, and he's like, yeah, don't trip, bitch. I got it. So I was like, okay. So he's like, let me sneak in there. And I guess he asked you, right? Are you married? And then you said no.
Yeah.
And then I was like, well, does he have a girlfriend? I was like, did you ask if he has a girlfriend? The follow-up question. And he's like, no, bitch, but he ain't married. So that don't matter. And I was like, okay, fine. Yeah. I was like, well, I guess, but I was like, you know what? I'm going through way too much. I'm separated right now, but there's a lot of things I have to unpack. So I just was like, whatever. And then I was like, okay, be professional. So I was, I think, very professional. I don't know. You tell me if I was or wasn't. I felt that I was.
You told me that you liked my eyes.
I did.
Yeah.
But for the most part, I wasn't like, was I being flirty? A little bit?
A little slightly.
Okay, maybe
slightly, yeah.
Okay, cool. Then I was being flirty. But I felt like I was being respectful. But yes, I did tell him. I was like, hey, I like your eyeballs. Yeah. That's what I told him. And he was very professional, you guys, which I love. He was very professional. I didn't even think that he was like into me or anything. He was just very nice. And then
you were looking a little thick that day.
I was looking a little thick.
Yeah, sure.
But yeah, so then I was really nice. And I remember I was like, okay, he's really cute. And he was so professional. He was so nice. And that was what I thought. Yeah. That was my perspective when we first met. And then we met again after that. And that was that was funner. But that's not the question. Okay, so like usually the way the game works, you guys, is that we both have to respond. So I went deeper in it. So if you want to add anything, babe, real quick, and then I'll choose one because I want to ask him.
Yeah, we know our first and second time, we kind of like mix them together because we didn't really know each other. But
what'd you think of me?
Describe the first time we met. I remember when you came out of your glam. Mm-hmm. This has never happened to me, and I swear it really did happen. But you came out of that glam room in slow motion, and I was like, oh my God. And then we came up to each other, and then we were both like,
I was like, hi.
How are you? And that actually happened.
Like for real.
It's never happened in my life, and that happened.
He told me that I had like this glow around me, like in the movies.
Yeah.
Like he told me that. I was like, really?
You were across the room and you were walking in slow motion. I was like, oh my God. And then I couldn't speak.
I hope it never goes away.
It doesn't.
Oh my God. Okay. I'm going to choose one. This is fun. Okay. Oh my God. I would choose this freaking card. Okay. Here you go. When was the last time I hurt you? Perhaps unintentionally?
Ooh. All right. We're getting into it.
Let's do it.
Oh, man. The last time you hurt me, I would say...
He's like 2 hours ago. No, I'm just kidding.
No, I think... thankfully, we don't really hurt each other a lot in this relationship. I think we're both mature enough to understand that things do happen, and, we do spend every day interacting with each other. And but I feel sometimes, if I'm in a jolly mood and maybe you're not, and sometimes it might feel to me that you might take something out on me. But I've also learned that, unless I really know I did something to you, it's something that, like, hey, let's be patient. We're both going through a lot of things every single day. And I don't take things personal from you if I know that it's not intended for me. But yeah, just
sometimes my tone of voice, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then it makes me think, like, oh, does she not love me today? Why is she being mean? Is that,
Yeah.
But
yeah, and that's something that you brought up to me like not so long ago, where you're like, you know what? Sometimes like your tone of voice, it makes me feel a certain way, and I'm like, shit, like it's not the first time I hear that. So I'm like, damn, I definitely don't want to hurt you. You're one person that I don't want to hurt. So I'm just like, every time you bring something to my attention, I'm like, I need to fix it. I want to fix it, And I think that I've done pretty good with that, with the things that you tell me. Mm-hmm. But it is sometimes I'm dealing with so many other things that have nothing to do with the relationship that we tend to take it out on the closest person to us. And I admit to that. And that's why I'm like, I try to just, and for the most part, I'm very good at, like, if I'm upset at one person, I'm upset at that person, and I don't take it out on the world. But for some reason, my partner, because you're the closest person to me, and I'm like so vulnerable with you and everything, like you get the shorter end of the stick, and that's not fair. So I get that. And I'm sorry about that.
Of course.
And I love you. I'm sorry about that.
It's okay.
So yeah. Okay, what about you? Take another one. Okay. This will be the last one.
Okay. What did this conversation teach you about our relationship? What did it teach you about yourself?
It taught me about our relationship that we're in a really good place, that I'm very proud of us. Mm-hmm. It taught me that there's always room to grow, that I continue to learn more about myself and things that I want to work on for the betterment of our relationship. And I love having these conversations with you, because I have the deepest conversations with you about our relationship and things that have nothing to do with our relationship. And I always learn something. And I'm just grateful. It taught me to just be grateful for the person that I have in front of me, and to just continue on this path that we're on. That's what it taught me.
I love that.
What about you?
I love that because I've said this before last time, but we really talk to each other like this every day.
Yeah.
And for me, what it's making me kind of realize is like how normal it is in our relationship that we have these conversations a lot, because I don't feel like pressure around them. I don't feel scared around them. Mm-hmm. But obviously today we're doing it on your podcast. So now it made me see it different, where I'm like, what is there to be scared of or nervous, because we do this.
Yeah.
We do this every day.
For sure.
These conversations are how they go. And, I think it's something that is so it's such a benefit for relationships. And I think if more people were more comfortable with speaking to their partners in a calm manner and actually listening, a lot of things can be resolved. And I think that's why we've been able to have so much growth.
Absolutely. I agree.
Yeah.
And I love you.
I love you
and
too.
I love this conversation, and I love my podcast because I'm able to just be vulnerable and share and be transparent with people and help other people through my experiences, through our experiences. And thank you for being open enough to be on this podcast again.
Of course.
And taking me with everything that I do, because it's not just my podcast. I do quite a bit, and you freaking are awesome. You're a fucking trooper, man.
Thanks.
And I'm cool with you, like, you know, shooting sexy ass girls, you know, and I'm cool with it. And it's okay because you love me.
I love you so much.
And you show me every day.
Yes, I do.
So you want to kiss me or no?
Doodle. You left me hanging.
Oh, sorry, dude. Oh, we got to do our
Oh,
shake. We
my
got to do our
God.
shake. What's up? Come on. Nice. Anyways, you guys, here's my mic. Thank you for joining us on this episode of Chiquis and Chill. Catch me on the next one, babe. Anything you want to tell anybody before we go?
No, thank you for having me. I'm glad we were able to do this. And if anyone ever has questions for us, we love to help people. We love to help relationships. And
for sure,
it's something that we're really passionate about. So if we can help other people, you know,
I love that.
That'd be great.
I think we will one day. Some way, somehow. I feel it.
Nice.
Peace out, guys. I love you so much. This is a production of iHeartRadio and My Cultura Podcast Network. Follow us on Instagram at My Cultura Podcasts and follow me, Chiquis, that's CHIQUIS. For more podcasts from iHeart, visit the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your favorite shows.